Hey y'all, it's Deb. Welcome back. In today's video, it's going to be a little bit different than some of the content that you've seen from me before because we are going to talk about a more serious issue. This video is going to be 7 steps of exactly what to do and how to handle a true financial emergency. I hope you'll find this helpful. There are many things that can happen to us in life that will cause or be the definition of a true financial emergency. I'm going to talk about this from the standpoint of you or your spouse losing their job, especially when you're in a household like mine where we solely rely on that one income. When our emotions are running high and we feel like life has just hit us so hard, we feel kicked in the gut, the air gets knocked out of our lungs, the first thing that I highly recommend you doing is to figure out ways to calm down, relax, and take a lot of deep breaths. It's very difficult to make wise, good, intellectual decisions when our emotions are running high and we just want this bad feeling to go away. Sometimes we don't make the best decisions when that's going on. So here are a couple things that we did or I did last year when Adam lost his job. And this is going to be different for everybody. What may work for me may not work for you, but these are just some ideas. So the first thing you can do is get outside. Fresh air is good for everybody. Get outside, go for a walk. You can take a long bath or a hot shower. You can read your favorite book, listen to your favorite music. For me, that's worship music because it helps me put my focus on the fact that God is in control of everything. And even when life is really, really hard, I know that based on the Bible, He will use those things to bring about good. Not necessarily more money or a higher paycheck, but good meaning it will grow my character. So figure out ways that help you relax your body, take some deep breaths. It could be stretching. It could be like moving your body, or it could be just taking 24 hours to enjoy the things that you really love, and then you can tackle the hard stuff the next day. Don't make any decisions the day that you get the news or the day you lose your job or the day that this has happened, whatever it is. Wait until tomorrow. Get some really good sleep first. Now, let's move into the plan of how to handle this. Step number 2 is to come up with a bare bones budget. That's something that Adam likes to call it. What does that mean? That means how much money is it going to take to keep us alive, keep us in our home, and allow whoever needs to go to work. A bare bones budget. That means we're going to eliminate everything possible, and I've got some ideas I'll share with you in a minute. And we're going to be very realistic about how much gas do we need just to go to work, not any of the extra stuff. We're going to run all of our errands on the same day, so we're not wasting gas. Maybe alter your AC or your heating and bring your electricity bill down. But you're going to start with those 4 categories. Let's talk about food. I have several videos I'm going to link down below to give you some ideas. When it comes to food, you really just want to budget how much do I just need this 1 month just to get by until I can pull some money in or until I can get a new job. This means that we're not eating out. If you have plans with your friends or another couple to go out, cancel those plans. Just text them, be honest. And you don't have to tell them what happened. You can just say, hey, life has hit us really hard. Can we just plan this for another time? We want to hang out with y'all. We just can't right now. That's really all you have to say. If they're your friends, they love you. They're gonna be waiting for you to come back around. You can't eat out right now. So you've dealt with those 4 categories. The next thing you're going to do is include in that bare bones budget things that you really need to keep up with. This includes minimal payments on your debts. Credit card, car payment, and student loans. I think those are the three big ones. And your health insurance, your life insurance. Don't let those things lapse. You really need to keep up with those. Just make the minimum payment. So you want to include those, but you want to make sure you eliminate anything that you don't absolutely need. Okay, step number 3, and this is really going to depend on your flexibility, your health, how young or how old you are, and whether or not you have a spouse. The next thing that I would do is see where can we get some money as quickly as possible. That might mean that I'm going to do some babysitting. birthday. That might mean that we're going to sell some stuff. Just like Dave Ramsey talks about in the plan for paying off your debt or coming up with your emergency savings as fast as possible, you're going to want to create some sort of stream of income, even if it's a small one, just to sort of give you a little bit of cushion until you can get some employment. And this is one of these things that if you've got children that I would say are over the age of 8 or 10, maybe there's some old toys and old clothes that they could sell. Maybe your teenagers could do some babysitting or mowing yards or washing cars. I know it sounds really minor, but when you've got 5 people and all of you are working together just to pull in a little bit of extra money, it does help. And it kind of creates this community with your family where you're all working together towards this goal. Think of episodes you've seen of Little House on the Prairie. Are those not the best episodes ever? When they work together and they get through a really hard time. I know it sounds like I'm being funny. I'm not. I'm being dead serious. I really think if you've got older children, pull them in and let them help you. But you need to create some sort of quick income. Okay, while we're working on our bare bones budget, and while we're creating a little bit of income, let me give you some ideas on where you can save a lot of money. These are temporary. Everything I'm about to tell you is short term, not long term, just until we get through this really hard season in life. Okay, I've got a list, so bear with me. We're going to stop any extra debt payments. We're just gonna make the minimum payment. We're gonna stop investing. We're gonna stop college savings. Again, this is all very temporary, not permanent. We're gonna stop retirement. Don't be tempted to do that long term. This is very, very short term. We're going to meal plan. Y'all, you have to meal plan. When you meal plan, especially in a financial emergency, you'll find out very, very quickly, how much food do I need? 3 meals a day, snacks. Make sure you're eating enough. And if you're having trouble figuring all this out, there are food banks and churches and help from your local government. It's okay. If you need it, you need it. That's what it's there for. But we're gonna meal plan so we can figure this out. We're not eating out. No eating out. Okay, so when Adam lost his job, I think it was a week later, it was his birthday. And we have a tradition in our home where when it's your birthday, children or adults, you get to pick where you eat out. As long as it's something reasonable, not something crazy. Well, we didn't eat out for him. Of course, we're not going to eat out. I mean, I know it's his birthday and we all felt really bad, but we kind of didn't care. You're just getting through this really short season. And then once he got a job and had a steady income and things kind of leveled out, then we can go out for his birthday. So moms, please hear me when I say this. Even if it's your child's 8th birthday or their 16th birthday and it's a big one, life happens. Like, life happens when we don't want it to happen. Bad things will come along at the worst timing. We all know that. This is a really great time to teach your children bad things are going to happen. And the best thing that we can do is not spoil them when we can't afford it, is to teach them how to appropriately and wisely handle bad things when they come along. They need to learn this from your example. You can always celebrate later. We're also going to cut all of our streaming services, satellite, HBO. I don't even know because we don't have TV. I could not name them all because we don't have TV. It's not our thing. It's not that we feel like it's immoral. We just don't watch it, and I don't know enough about it. Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Netflix. I'm sure y'all can name 1,000 more. You need to cancel every single one of them. If you ever want to bring those things back into your life, you totally can. Not a big deal. Just not now. Okay, your groceries. I think we talked about that a while ago. When you're meal planning, make sure you're only buying the food that you need. No Oreos. Okay, here's the last one. Call your cell phone company and see if there's anything you could possibly do to bring that bill down, even if it's temporary. Maybe cancel a couple cell phones. I don't know. I don't know what your situation is, but the cell phone bill can be one that you can change. So basically, in a nutshell, we're gonna cut every dollar humanly possible that we don't absolutely need. So make sure you're really honest with yourself. Get you and your spouse together. Y'all should be making these decisions together. If you are single, get your accountability partner. If you do not have one, get one. Make sure It is somebody who handles their money well. And it needs to be somebody who loves you enough to tell you the truth and be honest with you and ask you the hard questions. So if you don't have an accountability partner and you're single, you absolutely need one. If you are a married couple and you're doing this together, it's okay to reach out to another couple. We have actually done that, and we've been the couple that they have come to. There's no shame in that. Go to a couple that you feel really comfortable with, preferably that's older, wiser, and maybe better with their money than you are. Just bring in that extra help. Okay, the next step in this process. Now a lot of these things are gonna happen simultaneously, right? So while all these things are happening, you and your spouse are going to be looking for your next plan. Am I going back to school? Am I going to get a temporary job while I go to school? Who's gonna help me pay for school? Am I single? Am I married? All of those things. So is this a time in my life where I need to make a career shift? Do I really want to go back to what I was doing before? Or is this a great opportunity to switch things in my life? But listen, you have to be realistic. You can't just lose your job and then decide to go do something else and go to school for it, but you've got no income. You've got to figure out that income discrepancy thing. So come on, now it's totally fine for you to say this is not what I want to do and this is a great time in my life to switch off. You still need to create some consistent, dependable income, possibly so you're not in this situation again. Here's the last step in this whole process, and this is possibly going to be the hardest one, I would say, for most of us. Now, all of this is going to depend on what happened, how it happened, whether or not you knew this job loss was coming or you knew your family was going to have to move or something like that. This is a hard one. You are going to have to, at some point in your life, forgive whoever caused this. It could be your spouse that caused it. It could be you that caused the job loss. It could be a terrible boss or some coworkers that lied about you, and maybe this was not even your fault. At some point in your life, in order to move forward and not breed resentment and bitterness, you are going to have to forgive whoever was involved, including yourself, and move forward. There won't be any point in changing some things and getting financially free and meeting all your financial goals if you become a rich, financially independent, bitter, resentful, unforgiving person. That's not who you want to end up being. So as hard as this is, and depending on your circumstances, as complicated as this may be, you're going to have to let that stuff go. I know it's hard. We've been there. We have been there. Most people have been there. And if you haven't, you probably will. And just remember that we're all broken people. We're all sinners. We're going to hurt each other. We're going to do some really dumb, stupid, hurtful things to each other. And we're all going to have to be forgiven, and we're all going to have to forgive. So maybe this is a really great practice in that. But I really, really encourage you to forgive whoever was involved and then move forward. Let me say this, if you need some help with that, no shame. I have been to counseling. At some point in my life, I may go back. Depending on what happens in life and what stuff comes up, counseling is great. Counseling is fantastic. Now, personally, I recommend you do biblical counseling. That's just what I prefer and what works best for me. But if you need counseling, go get some counseling. It's okay. It does not make you weak. It actually makes you a better, stronger person to admit that you just need some help figuring out how to deal with your emotions and your thoughts and to move forward. I hope that anything that I have said has been helpful, encouraging, wise, giving you some ideas that maybe you didn't think about. If you're watching this video because something has happened in your life, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, and it stinks. If it hasn't happened to you, it possibly is coming down the road, so maybe watch this in preparation for that. But I'm praying for you. If you want some encouragement or you need some help, just comment down below, and I would love to pray for you and encourage you. You're not alone. This happens to most of us at some point in our life. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.